Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Well. The Russians are solidifying their stay in the newly annexed territories. And what do? It seems like they dig a long trench or defensive trenches. They call them Wagner line or something like that, right? But let's be specific and read this article because they're gonna tell us all about it. So this article comes from Yahoo News and it's from October 24th, 2022. Satellite photos reveal fortification plans in Russia-occupied Ukraine. Analysts reveal. As it looks ahead to a decisive winter, Russia is constructing a massive fortification in the eastern Ukraine territory it occupies, according to satellite imagery and statements by a key ally of Russian President Vladimir Putin. Satellite imagery provided by Planet Labs shows significant work is underway to build a trench in Russian-occupied eastern Ukraine with a planned length of some 120 miles. In satellite images taken on October 17th, the fortifications for this defensive line began just south of Russian-held Popasna in the Luhansk region. An ABC News analyst of the satellite images overlaid on Google Earth suggests the fortifications as of the date were 7.9 mile long so far. But it's gonna be what, 120 miles, so about, let's say, 190 kilometers, right? Let's say. Another section of fortifications near the town of Hirske can be seen on satellite imagery from October 6. The image shows two rows of pyramid-shaped concrete blocks followed by a large vehicle trapping ditch, both meant to slow down tanks and heavy machinery. I think that's stupid. Why? Because it reminds me of the Maginot line, the one that the French built from north to south. It was fantastic, Maginot, but the problem is like the Chinese wall. It's nice, but if you break it in one place, everything else means zero. You're nullified. And what did the Germans do through their blitzkrieg? They went through the lowlands, through Belgium and the Netherlands. They avoided it. They just went, buy it. Didn't go through it, buy it. And the French army was looking like, what the fuck? Je m'en fous. What the hell? So, the trench is being dubbed the Wagner line in Russian media after the Russian private military company of the same name. Wagner's founder, billionaire Evgeny Prigozhin, told Russian media outlet New Day that Wagner was behind the project. Plans for the trench published by a Prigozhin-linked media outlet, FAN, show it will extend to Lysychansk to the north before turning and going east towards the Russian border. Completed according to this plan, it would run about 120 miles. Well, and he says the Gens analyst says this is an ambitious plan. It will take the Russians considerable time to construct it if they try to, and it's time they may well not have given Ukraine's offensive in the east. And I'm quoting again, it is the evidence of their losses, as they proclaim both Luhansk and Donetsk Oblast in general as Russia, and here in the middle of this territory they are building this fortified line, someone said to ABC News. And while the Wagner line may be a defensive tool, this Revati suspects there is a political reason for it as well. Let's see what that is. And I'm quoting, "It looks as if they, the Russian, want to demonstrate how important it is for them, that they will stand till the end defending these territories." Well, you gotta defend what you conquered or what you took under your little wing or wings. And I don't know about that to slow down tanks. Anyway, but they know best, right? What do we know? It's military strategy and military, engineering and all that. But the thing that they are building it as a defensive line and as a statement, probably, that, as the last paragraph indicated, this is we're here to fight till the end, being very important to us. I also think that the Ukrainian counteroffensive is well over-exaggerated. And I don't think it's, an offensive is an offensive. You need a continuous supply and supply of ammunition, which I don't think the Ukrainians will have a problem with having it at hand. But what I think the Ukrainians will need is military personnel to fire those rounds. And without that, you can't operate weapons, obviously. You can't operate weapons, you can't have a counteroffensive. And as you can see in the past, I don't know, about 4 months now, all that happened over there, aside from the Ukrainian successful counteroffensive, is both sides just hit targets on the other side. Pam, 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 pam. Well, at one point, as ammunition and personnel, as I said, Russians have about 140 million population, potentially 30 million people if they choose to sign a decree with a generalized, how do you call it? Sometimes it just misses. Recruitment, but it's not recruitment. Jesus Christ. General mobilization. Sometimes it's a boom. It's recruitment, but it's mobilization. So the Russians have the potential about 30 million. Ukrainians, I don't know how much they have now because they already started with a general mobilization. So a lot of Ukrainians fled the country. Part of Ukrainians live in the eastern side, so I don't know, I would say 5 million, 7 million at the most, if they have. So I don't know, we'll find out, but I think Ukrainians will be decimated slowly unless they receive an order from Washington to stop and supposedly negotiate something. Winter is coming as well. Street protests are intensifying in the Western countries that would put pressure on their weasel representatives, and maybe they will put pressure on Washington to say, okay, we can't take it anymore, you gotta talk with the Russians. Other than that, is that little article coming and saying that the Ukrainians are getting ready to detonate a dirty bomb. Ukrainians deny, Americans deny, French deny, the Brits deny, they all deny, like they already know those guys don't have whatever the Russians are saying Ukrainians have. But on the other hand, the Russians do not provide the evidence as of now to support their claims. Anyway, defensive line, there to stay, so they're preparing to make a demarcation of their territory, I guess. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.